Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Global Healing Circle. Today, we are talking actually about menopause. What is it? What is the spiritual side of it? We have people who have gone through it, we have people who are now in it, and we have people who have no idea about it. So, this is going to be an interesting evening. Let's introduce ourselves first. So, Christina, you can start.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christina Cece. I'm a holistic well-being coach, and I'm currently in Florida in this beautiful weather. And I help women create the lives of their dreams through 3 levels: mind, body, and soul. I'm also a cacao ceremony facilitator and a co-facilitator of a 90-day program with Tina Berkeley Coaching.
Perfect. And then we have Amos.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amos Campbell. I'm a full spectrum healer from Peoria, Arizona. My business, Health and Healing Solutions, helps everything from musculoskeletal therapy, medical reflexology, Reiki, and meditation facilitation.
Awesome. And Fotini?
Hello, my name is Fotini. I'm from Athens, Greece. I'm a shamanic practitioner and I'm also a Paco, and now being trained to be a Pampa Mesayok, which is from the Peruvian tradition. And I'm very, very happy to be with you.
Great. And my name is Nora. I am from Finland. I am an energy healer and a spiritual life coach. So I am helping people to release what they need to release for creating the life that they truly want to live. And today we have a special guest here. So Carol, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Carol Gader from Florida, and I'm a wellness coach. And I have a wellness newsletter that I put out that's free for anyone. And I'm also a dowser, so I can really find out what's wrong with people through dowsing.
Perfect. And you also know a lot about nutrition and herbs and stuff like that.
Yes, I do a lot with nutrition and herbs and thought forms, because our thought forms affect our life very much. So, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, wonderful. So first of all, let's start the conversation about menopause. Could you, Carol, for example, just describe what is menopause for a person who has never heard about that word or is not in the age of going through it? So what is it?
Well, menopause is a time in your life when when you stop ovulating, and that your hormones start to shut down, your estrogen and progesterone levels start to shut down. And so that creates a host of symptoms in your body. I don't know if you want me to mention some of them.
Sure.
But the first one is some anxiety. And of course, changes in your skin is a big one that people don't like. And sleeping, having trouble sleeping, a loss of feeling of self, and mood swings. And then that's perimenopause beginning. Then when you get fully into menopause, then that's when you get the hot flashes and the night sweats, and your whole bed is wet. And it's not very pleasant. So those are pretty much the symptoms. Your vagina can dry up, and so sex is very unpleasant, but there are things for that too. There's something for everything if you only look.
That's amazing. So now we have some ladies here who are now going through this or are starting to have it. I don't have a clue about it. I'm too young for it. But how about Christina and Fotini, you want to share what is going on in your life at the moment in this sense?
Oh, for me, so just starting to realize that this is what has been going on actually, because I started waking up at night. And it's not spiritual, because I was trying, I had a session, what is it, why do I wake up? Is it anxiety, is it something? And then I just wake up, and then it takes me about an hour, 2 hours to get back to sleep. And that mixes the whole thing, the program and everything. So I didn't really connect it with that in the beginning, but a few months ago I got some hormone examinations. And my gynecologist told me, you're at the age you're supposed to be, because I'm 45. And it's like, you know, honey, you're getting there. You're just starting. And I don't know a lot also. I'm very interested to hear Christina what she has to say about the symptoms. I only got so far this thing about waking up in the night. I don't have anything else for now. So Christina, what is going to follow?
Yeah, so I think the key here is, first of all, we're talking about women, right? Because men go through a different process. So women go through this, what's called menopause, perimenopause, which is the beginning stages. And I just turned 52 in October. And I just started having symptoms about maybe 5 or 6 months ago. And the symptoms that I was getting was the anxiety, was the waking up in the middle of the night, having really hard time sleeping. I am getting little hot flashes here and there, but other than that, I'm not really experiencing much. But I have kind of a different story as well, where I have been on birth control for 25 years. And I went off of it 2 years ago. And just for insurance purposes, really, I probably wouldn't have come off of it otherwise. In the US, it's kind of a mess. But so the birth control that I was on prevented me from having any menstruation for about 20 years. So I don't know if what I'm going through is just, I don't know when it started. I don't know. So I'm kind of at a loss of where I am, because people gauge their menopause stages with where their menstruation is and their ovulation. So, and the hormone levels, which that's another whole topic, because at least in the US, they don't really test hormones like periodically to get a real number, because your hormones change by the moment throughout the day. So depending on what time of day you're taking that test, you know, there's no real gauge as to whether they're high, low, if they're spiking, if they're not, if it's regularly low, if it's regularly, you know, spiking, we just don't know. So I think there's something with the system there, just in my research, that we're missing some big pieces. And Carol, I would love to hear, you know, what you found in any of your research as to what they're really doing, the, you know, doctors and physicians in the West, to kind of gauge it.
If you go to a doctor, they're going to put you on estrogen and progesterone. And now that they have found that there's some problems with those hormones, there are a lot of women who just do not want to go that route. I never went that route. I knew that I would never go that route. And I was on the pill too, so a while. But after 5 years and having very strange periods of a day or two when it used to be 7 and heavy, it scared me. And we had a talk and decided we were done with having children. So my husband got fixed. Sounds like a cat, but anyway. And so then I got off the pill and I didn't worry about it anymore. But are you feeling any swelling in your breasts at all?
No,
Not yet.
no.
Well, there's some changes that go on in the breast too. A lot of people don't mention that, but there are a lot of changes in your body that happen during that time. Like I gave you some of them, but I didn't even think of that one. That happened to me. I think that since you're all energy workers, you know how important it is for meditation and quieting the breath and quieting your body. And so for your anxiety and even your sleep, doing that is going to bring you in a state where you'll be able to handle it so much better. There are a lot of products on the market. You don't have to take the over-the-counter or doctor's sleeping pills. There are some gentle ones. There's chamomile tea. There's valerian root tea. The valerian root tea is like a tranquilizer. Valium comes from that. And valerian root is the whole plant. I believe that the whole plant is got keys in it, and you don't just take a portion of it out. You use the whole plant the way it was grown. So that is a help. The company I work with does have a product that has, it's called stress tabs, and they really do keep you calm. And we also have sleep ease, and that does have chamomile tea in it that help you if you need it. I take it only when I need it. There are also other herbs for hot flashes and for helping you sleep. You might not need a sleeping aid. You might just want to take, it's called a Menopause Balancing Complex. And in it, and I wrote right down what's in it because I knew you'd ask, and because you're in other countries, some of you, you might have these products in your health food stores or whatever you have. Black cohosh, that's one that helps with hormones. It's the root of the black cohosh. Dawn Quai, I imagine some of you have heard of Dawn Quai, Quai root. And that is another one that really helps with hot flashes and sleeplessness. Red clover, licorice, flaxseed, all of those. And I'm sure that we're not the only company that has this. You might find it in Finland, you might find it in Greece. I don't know, but now that you know the names, I can even write them out for you if you want, and you could look for them because they are a big help. And most of us do need help. If we try to go it solo and just wing it, we might be in trouble. But if we get the aids that can be natural, I think it will help a lot. And I would suggest that rather than going for the chemical way. They haven't been able to. There is a yam that does have estrogen, and you may find that that helps you. It's actually a cream, and you put it on your skin, but you have to put it on just right and stop. I think you put it on 28 days and stop for 7, just like your periods, and it helps with the hot flashes. So that's something.
Just to clarify, I thought the yam is for progesterone. Is that not correct?
I think it has some estrogen in it too.
Okay. Oh.
But yes, progesterone. Yes, and people who have difficult periods, sometimes their estrogen and their level, you know how they come together, the estrogen the first part of the month and then the progesterone. And some people that have trouble, like myself, I always had trouble with my periods. The estrogen went way over and the progesterone hardly any. So that always made an imbalance. So I don't know what else. That's on the physical side of things. On the spiritual side, any kind of work you can do spiritually, I think helps. Hopefully a person has done it before they hit menopause. But for a woman, I don't know about you men, but for a woman, this is such an important time in your life. This is when she becomes the old sage. You read about it. She comes into her full power. And that is such a beautiful time. It hits anywhere in the 50s or early 60s. And so when most people are thinking of retiring in their early 60s, when you understand that you are in the height of your power, no way are you going to retire. You're just getting started. That's when I wrote my books. That's when I've done so much more stuff that since I was 60 than I ever did in my life. I did a lot of things in my life, but I knew the power of coming into your full power. So ladies, You're in your full power. You're coming into it. You're going to be just absolutely amazing. And I will mention one thing that people don't talk about. And I'll start by telling you, I gave a lecture at the University of New Hampshire. And one of the professors did a seminar on sex. So, of course, I went in to see what she was going to say about that. And she says, well, ladies, it's time for you to tell your husbands you're done. I'm thinking, what is she talking about? She says, you know, you dry up and it hurts and forget it. Just tell your husband you're done. I thought, this is crazy. You're finding your kids are gone. You don't have to worry about carrying around all this stuff for your periods and you're free. This is the best time in your life for sex. What is she talking about? So if your vagina should dry up, which happens, and that's when women often shut down because it hurts. This is when you need to get creams. There are estrogen creams that the doctor will suggest, but there are other creams that are much better, that are natural. So look for them in your country. I'm sure you can find them. You just go into a health food store and ask what they have. And they're just like a Tampix. You inject them the same way and you can have a great sex life the rest of your life. So
Well, I've heard, I actually just saw some latest research on this, and I'm thinking maybe there's some preventative measures to take here. But first, the research that I saw, aloe vera is like one of the top, natural aloe vera is one of the top remedies for this. And also infrared light. They're coming out with devices that actually create and stimulate collagen in the vagina and increase blood flow. So you naturally produce the moisture that you need. And
yes.
I'm seriously looking into this.
Well, I can tell you what I do. I have a suppository and I use it several times a week. And it has what we put on our face, hyaluronic acid in it.
That too.
And so that keeps me moist. And so there are things. And so men, don't take it. If a woman says, I'm done, just help her gently find the answer to, you know, continued sex, because it is good for you. And so you don't want to just cut it off. Also, after menopause, then a woman is susceptible to osteoporosis and heart disease. So these are the things you need to look for. I don't know how much you want me to go on this subject or not.
Well, you can open it for, briefly if you want.
Yeah, because I'll actually comment on that as well, because I did a lot of research on that, and we're recording, so I can take this out, this conversation.
Okay, so why don't I just mention osteoporosis and tell you what I do, and then you can tell you what you do, then I'll tell you what I do for heart disease. Okay, osteoporosis, the calcium, magnesium, manganese, vitamin D, of course a multivitamin, and of course your collagen and protein. And I have another little thing here that I get from Weleda. It's a pharmacy that has all natural products, and it's called aqueous phosphorus. And it comes either in a shot that you can give yourself or in pellets. I used to do the shots because I did develop osteoporosis. And so between the shots and lifting weights, I got it back to normal. And now that I'm older, it's back to osteopenia. So I started these little tablets again. And I also can leave the number for, oh no, this is from Uriel. Sorry, that's another one. Those two companies do all natural things. They're a pharmacy, but they do all natural things. So go ahead, and what do you do?
Yeah, so I did a lot of research on osteoporosis because I am very small boned. I am under 100 pounds, and I have been on Depo-Provera I was on Depo-Provera for over 15 years. And Depo-Provera was found to leach calcium from the bones. And also my grandmother had osteoporosis, and I'm Mediterranean, so I'm Italian. So I have all of these, all of the risk factors going on. So I decided, my doctor, upped my calcium levels. This was back when I was 35 to 2,000 milligrams a day. And I was taking this and I was just feeling like crap. Like I had no energy. My body just was not tolerating it. So I decided to go on a quest to really know the truth about osteoporosis. So really the body, right? We know the body breaks down naturally. The bones are structure, break down periodically and rebuild themselves. We are not the same structure that we were even 5 years ago. So osteoporosis is the breaking down of the bones, but you are missing key minerals and nutrients, micronutrients, to build it back. And as we age, that becomes less and less. We become more depleted of those minerals that create and build the bones back. So in my research, it's not calcium that rebuilds bones. It is other micronutrients like the vitamin K, magnesium, phosphorus. All of these micronutrients and trace minerals are what need to rebuild the bone. So that's what I have been doing, over the years is that. So I know there is a link between estrogen levels and these minerals as well. So estrogen somewhat supports the minerals. However, when we go into menopause and our estrogen in our ovaries shut down, the adrenals actually produce estrogen. So the adrenals pick up what the ovaries were, what were lacking there. And so it's really what's happening in the West is that we're so overstressed that the cortisol levels are rising, the anxiety, we have higher levels. So the adrenals are not producing the estrogen that we need to create to make up for the estrogen loss that we have. So my focus is, might be mind-blowing people out there, but my focus is to reduce the stress, reduce the cortisol, and then to try to build the adrenals up to produce the estrogen levels that we need.
And to find a calcium supplement that has all those minerals in it.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, but
yeah, it
there are some out there.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah.
So that's what I take with all the minerals in it. Yeah. Yeah, very good, because people need to understand that.
Great. So how about Amos? You have been doing some research about the menopause in a man's life and what happens there in the body.
Well, I've been dealing with women in all the stages for the last 18 years professionally, but speaking from a man's experience and a few of my male clients over the years, it's called hypogonadism, and it's a natural process that happens in all men, no matter what, usually around age 40, but it can happen earlier depending on your lifestyle and your diet and your exercise, and your overall lifestyle and stress will directly play into it. And it's just the natural degradation of life. Nothing stays young and fresh forever, and everything sort of degrades, but all men kind of go at a different rate. The average is 1% in decrease every year after the age of 40. So you live to about 100, you're going to get to about 60% of your total testosterone when you were 21 on average. So I'm going to tell you, speaking from my experience, from diets here in the United States, I blame sugar, stress, and soy. Soy produces so much estrogen in the body, and our food, especially cheap chocolates and cheap sweets, it's like a bonder, and it holds things together, and it just holds things in the body. And estrogen makes everything really round and plump, and that's one of the few things that we don't want in men's bodies. We want to be very sharp and toned and chiseled. We don't want to be round and voluptuous. So I stress being aware of how much soy you're consuming, how much stress you have, and whether or not you are actively stressing your muscles in exercise, because that's what keeps our testosterone at a good level. Is you want to actively activate your muscles. So then hormone levels say, we're still fighting, we're still working, we're still collecting for the tribe, let's stay strong. But if you're laying on the couch all day for 12 hours a day, or in front of the computer for 12 hours a day, your body's saying, okay, it's time to retire, let's shut down and let's just become round. So
Right.
it's all about stress, lifestyle, exercise. The women that I work with, meditation is probably the biggest key. The best thing is to take an hour, 90 minutes once a month, and let's go get a massage and relax. We're going to breathe. We're going to put you in a new state of mind and hopefully flush all that stuff out. But I also, for everyone over 18 or everyone over 21, I recommend medical marijuana. CBD has been amazing in reducing nerve inflammation. There's a lot of the nerves that go to that part of the body, the uterus, the ovaries, and the lower part of the intestines, comes out about L1 to L4, that space in the lower back. And during that time and during this change, your nerves can get inflamed. So I will tell people to get a jar of just CBD, no THC. It's not going to show up in a test, but CBD, and apply it to your lower back twice a day to help with that nerve inflammation. These are the things that I have seen that have worked the best over the years. And for all my guys, it's inevitable. Your testosterone levels are going to drop no matter what. The higher your stress, the faster it's going to drop. The more sugar you eat, the faster it's going to drop. And the less you exercise. So, sorry, guys.
Why apply it to the lower back?
Because those are the nerves that go directly to that part of your body. The central nervous system is the center, and that is how your brain communicates with the ovaries and everything. Is our bodies have yet to evolve Wi-Fi. So we have a dial system. The brain has to have an electrode to completely go to it. So if we can soothe the nerve that goes to that part of the body, we can soothe that part of the body a bit. It's not going to stop the inflammation, but if I can reduce it by 10, 30, 50%, that's not nothing. And that might make your day a little more bearable. Like I can't cure stuff, but we might be able to make it easier to deal with, because this is going to be your reality at some point. So how to make it through the best we can. That's really what I'm here for.
Yeah. So it's really interesting that you said that. I just put it together. So to help me sleep, I take magnesium at night. I'll do valerian if it's really, really a rough night. I'll do some valerian root. But I also have a magnesium gel that I'll put on my stomach, but I'll take the extra and I'll put it on my lower back and my sacrum. And I didn't know why. I just did it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's so fascinating that you said that. So now I'm gonna try with the magnesium gel to put more there and see what happens. Yeah.
Yep. Dermatomes and myotomes. That's a really good Google image search for anyone. And this is how neurologists can determine, like in multiple sclerosis patients, like what parts of your body are being affected by which nerve is being affected, because every nerve that exits between your vertebrae goes to a different part of your muscles, organs, glands, and skin. So directly to the point is the way to go.
Exactly. So, hey, let's take this to the interesting part, the spiritual side of this big transformation that happens in every person's life. So, Carol, you have been kind of helping many people to get over the menopause. Have you noticed any typical stuff that people go through, like emotionally or mentally during that time of their life?
Yeah, I think a lot of emotions arise at that time of life. And a lot of them are like, leave me alone, you know, because husbands are trying to be there for you and trying to help you. And it's like, no, just leave me alone. Don't touch me. You know, that kind of thing. I have to get through this, and you're not helping me by cuddling because I'm hot all the time, and you know, and men want to take it away. It's in their nature. They love somebody, they want to take their pain away. And so I think just having a conversation with your loved one and your family, if you still have kids at home, and letting them know what you're going through would help. I have found that dowsing has brought many people into a higher level spiritually. It's helped my growth in everything. And it's helped me with this too. So I think you need to have conversations during that time. You two that are just kind of heading into it, I think you need to have conversations with the people around you and just let them know how you feel. And if you don't want help, just let them know. If you want help, just let them know. And meditate. Like they were saying, meditate a lot, maybe more, maybe 2 or 3 times more. I meditated a lot during that time. I mean, sometimes hours.
Well, can you explain a little bit more about the dowsing? What exactly is that?
Well, most people think of it as an old man with a hat and suspenders with a Y rod. And going out and finding, I knocked my, just a minute, I'll come back. And going out and finding water. And yes, that's what a dowser does. They go out and find water. I don't have rods here, but I do have my pendulum, and I use my pendulum more than I use anything, because you can do a lot with a pendulum. You can find out just what nutrients you need through a pendulum, exactly, and how much your body needs, and which ones. Does it need dawn cry, or does it need red clover, or does it need, and you can find out so many things.
Great idea. Great idea.
Does that answer your question about dowsing?
Well, I'm just excuse me. I'm just asking for our viewers that may not know what dowsing is or what a pendulum is, or
A pendulum is just a tool to give you and help you get answers, and you can program it to give you a yes and no answer, and then all you can get is yes and no answer. But finding things, your rods will open right up. And I give free classes a lot, and I'm giving one March 16th. If anybody is interested, I'll be glad to, it's on the pendulum, dowsing with the pendulum, and it's free.
We can put that information in the description too.
Yes, or I can send it to Nora, and she can send it out to whoever, or put it on your site, because it's free, and they can learn not only what it is, but how to do it. I think everybody should know how to do it, because it will change your life.
Exactly. Yeah, so I really like dowsing too. I think it's a great tool, definitely.
It's on every continent, in every country, and almost in every state in the United States, they have chapters So you can look them up because there's a national organization in every country. Ours is called American Society of Dowsers in the United States, British Society of Dowsers, Canadian Society of Dowsers. I don't know what it's called in New Zealand or Finland, but they're there. Every country.
Definitely. Fortini, you wanted to talk a little bit about the archetypes of a woman, like bring that side to this conversation.
Yeah, I was thinking about Carol, what she said before about being in the power, as a crowd, and was thinking mostly how, and I would ask Carol, is there an internal battle about the fact that I'm not young anymore and I'm getting old? It's something that we tend to reject ourselves maybe. Has this happened to you? Did you have this feeling or thoughts?
Who are you asking? Who
You,
are you asking?
Carol, you.
Me. All right, say the question again.
Okay, my question is, as we grow older and as we get into the crone archetype, there's this thing about we're not young anymore. Okay, and I'm wondering, is there an internal battle? Is there a conflict, an internal conflict? Do I accept myself as passing through in this menopause state that, it shows like I'm going somewhere and I don't know where I'm going, and I'm going all these, physical things and emotional and spiritual. I think it can be very frustrating, right?
It's a very difficult time in a woman's life, partly because of the way that all society has perceived women on television, in magazines, in ads, the beautiful, shapely, gorgeous woman. And we are not beautiful and beautifully shaped anymore. We can be scrawny, we can be fat. And so I think the most important thing is for a person to know in themselves that I am complete and whole in myself, and I am special. And when you realize that, the outer appearance and what's happening to you doesn't matter as much. And to come to that state is not easy for every woman. It's really hard. I can remember being at a seminar and this woman stood up and she was about my age and she was crying and everybody said, "What are you crying about?" And she said, "My skin is drying up. I'm getting wrinkles all over the place, not only on my face, but everywhere. And I hate it." And she was crying about it. And I thought to myself, grow up, lady. This happens to everybody, but we all take it different. We do. And so, to hug her and help her understand and help her through it was important. I think at the time I wasn't sure how to respond to her because my first thought was, I know I'm going through the same thing exactly. And how do you take it? But I think if we can help people spiritually to know how important this time is in their life, how free they are to do things that they could never do before, that they've come into their full power as a woman. And that is such a special place for every woman. And if they could realize and see how the younger women want to learn what they know. And by being quiet, they don't know that we know it. So it's not a time to be quiet. It's a time to speak your truth. And Nelson Mandela, in his inaugural address, said, "Unless we speak our truth, we do not allow the rest of the world to speak their truth." And so I would encourage, to answer your question, all women to seek their power and know their power and to use it at this time in their life in a mighty way that they could never use it when they were younger because of fear, because of family, building their nest, building their careers. This is all important. At my stage, those things are not important.
That's beautiful.
Sharing my truth is what is important to me now. And that's why I'm doing free dowsing seminars, because I believe in it so much. And I've been trying to find a way to share that knowledge. So that's what I'm doing. It's on Zoom, open to anyone. So that's right now what I'm doing.
It's very funny because a lot of the things that I have noted down as thinking about the crow is the wise woman, the one who gives advices, the inner knowing. It's one of the characteristics of the person being a crone. Certainty, it's also because you have the experience for many years. You have passed, like women in Crohn's have been young, they've passed the transition of being mother, and now they're going the second transition. So they kind of have already, some knowledge and some experience about it. I think they're more accepting of life circles after you've been through the menopause. We start accepting maybe much easier things, and maybe we can understand that nothing is going to last forever, and we don't need to insist on something, and just take some things as they come. I think this is one of the main characteristics.
Yeah, you see what's really important and what isn't. True.
Exactly. So you know exactly what to do. You're not looking around anymore. You're just going straight for that because your experience has taught you so well. Maybe clarity is one of the,
Clarity.
yes, into issues and into matters and relationships and thoughts and best choices. Give clarity or have clarity and offer it.
True.
Also, maybe gaining spiritual strength at that time, while the maiden would be the physical strength and emotional strength would be going on for mothers. Maybe for Crohn's, it is about spiritual strength. It is about growing in a different, in a different level and in a different way, and blooming also in that way, in a different way than the other ones. I was wondering about the power animals.
About the what?
The power animals associated with the crow.
The
If you
power?
animal, the power
Animals.
animal.
Power
I'm not
animals.
sure. Oh, power animal. Oh, yes, I work with power animals. Yes. You want to know what mine is?
What? What is it?
Black Panther.
Ooh.
Okay. You're young at heart, eh?
So explain what that is.
Usually the crow has the owl as the power animal because it comes about wisdom. It's about seeing in the darkness. It's about seeing insight. It's about knowing things. And there's also a time of not doing a lot of things. You don't really need to move around to do a lot of things. You just go for chuk, and you just go to this is what I'm going to do, and I know I'm going to do it. And the other thing is not going to work because I just know that it's not going to work. I was thinking about movies. In the which is the most famous movie that talks about the crown. So the first thing that came to mind was Devil Wears Prada, because she's very powerful. She knows what to do. She knows what she wants. Everyone is younger than her. She has this inner strength. She's not shouting. She's only whispering most of the time in the movie. There's no shouting. It's just, it looks like Don Vito Corleone, but he's a man. But still, he's like very, very mature, and he has a lot of power, and he's not showing all these things. You cannot really see them. Just see someone who's very old. And this is what came to me. And also I was thinking about Gorillas in the Mist, that lady, John Goodall, that she was about to explore all these things and going into nature and discovering something different that does not require a lot of doing around. That showed she started, I think after 40 or 50, she started her studies with the gorillas. So this is a little bit, this is what I got so far, and I'm sure there's more, but this is very interesting, and it seems like it fits a lot with what Carol is saying, that you just know now. You don't need to you're certain about yourself. You can share these things. You can share your experience. You can write books. You can do workshops. You can having cooking lessons or cooking shows, or how to ease the baby, or get someone to teach them. Also, usually old women and grandmothers, they're the ones that teach the grandchildren, because the mother is going to the fields to get, the everything, the fruit and everything. Now mothers go have the careers. In Greece, we have this archetype that grandmother usually grows the children because the mother is going to work. I don't know if in the United States this is still on.
Similar. Yep.
Okay. That was very, very interesting to have, to have a look about it. I wanted to talk about the younger ones, because we all tend we tend to understand more, and we are bombarded by this young model of maiden woman, but she's more active, she's more masculine, she has a lot of things to do, she's enthusiastic about life, she has all this, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Well, the crone is okay, yeah, I know. No, it's like the opposite. It's like one has a feminine energy and the other one has a masculine energy. So it's very strange, because you would think that, okay, it doesn't make really sense. But yes, this is what really goes on when we're young. We're so energetic. We're doing things all the time. So that was a very, very nice thinking and reflection about the three archetypes. And I wanted to share it with you if you have, any kind of similar thoughts. Does it make sense?
Well, now when I have been listening to you about this, just like completely from outside, just looking and hearing, I can see that a woman who knows herself might be surviving the menopause easier. Could this be? Is this true?
Yes. Yes.
Because you don't look for yourself from the outer world. So the exchanges, the changes in your body or in you compared to the outer world, they don't really matter so much because you already know who you are. So
If you stop and think about it, you don't have to lug all that stuff that you lug in your purse. You can take a little mini purse now. You don't have to think when you want to have sex whether they're protected or not, because you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about, actually, I'm a great grandmother. And I don't know if you know the difference between a grandmother and a great grandmother. There is a big difference. The grandmother usually says, yes, I'll take the kids. I'll take the kids. Even if it kills her, she's going to take them. But a great grandmother has choice. So at this point in your life, everything's a choice. If you want to have those kids, you can have them. But if you don't want them, or you can say no. And they don't think a thing of it. In fact, they don't even ask you. They think you're too old. So they ask the grandmother, not the great grandmother. And so you get to have the kids when you want to on your own terms. And what a difference it makes. I mean, it's fun. I really love being a great grandmother. So look forward to your older years and know that when you're younger, you're too busy to even think too much about spiritual things. But when you get in your late 30s and 40s, you start to think about, why am I here? What am I doing here? Do I have a purpose? What is my purpose? And have I taught my kids right?
I'm still thinking that.
Yeah, well, you're in that age, yeah. And then when you get a little older and you start to learn about all this, and then you get to my age and you know your purpose. It's definite. You know why you came this time around. And you check and see, is my work done? I check it with Dowsing, and I got a lot of it. 80 to 85% of my work is done. and I got some more I have to do. I can't leave because I gotta finish all this stuff that I was sent here to do. And knowing what you're sent here to do is so important. More important than worrying about physical issues. I mean, they fall away eventually, pretty much. I mean, so you have some of these physical issues, but they aren't important. So I have arthritis. I have to walk with a cane. So what? A lot of people are using wheelchairs and walkers. At least I'm walking with a cane. So I still have power. And I hope that you all, as you get older, will feel that too and know how powerful you are. If you all can teach others how powerful they are, then you have done a great thing, because most people have no idea how powerful they are, or they're afraid of how powerful they could be.
Beautiful. So we are definitely over our time, because this has been such an interesting conversation, but let's have a last round. Last words, what do you want to tell the people watching this recording about the subject today? Christina, you want to start?
Sure. Yeah, I just want to thank Carol, because you brought up so many interesting points, and to bring it all around to really stepping into our power. That's really what I'm taking away from this today, and love to share that with people. So thank you.
Beautiful.
You're
And
welcome.
Amos?
Yes, thank you so much, Carol, for coming today. This has been very helpful. And for all of our male viewers out there, diet, exercise, keep your stress low, and we will keep your testosterone as high as it can stay for as long as it can.
Beautiful. And for Tini?
I was thinking that it's maybe the advice would be, don't panic, don't be afraid of the process. It's a natural thing. It's something that comes. It's something just natural in the course of life. And also, maybe I don't know if there are any groups or there are any associations, or just find people that are in the same time so you can share and, you know, get off this difficulty, and, you know, ask advices, ask other women, what do you do about this, you know, what do you do? There's so many things around that we don't even know because we don't ask. So just go and connect with women at the same age or at the same phase in their life. I think it will be very helpful for them.
Beautiful. And Carol?
Well, I just want to say you're all awesome. I just love the journey that you are all on. And I would like to encourage you in your journey, and keep growing. Don't ever stop. Keep changing and be open to everything. Don't be afraid to look at anything, because your intuition will always guide you. And thank you, Nora, for inviting me.
Thank you, Carol, for joining us. How beautiful last words. I would like to just say, if you like this video, please share it, subscribe, like, comment. If you have anything you want us to talk about in the future, just please contact us. We have Facebooks, we have Instagrams, and so on, and you will find all the links for finding Carol and her dowsing Zooms and all of us in the comment box. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful morning, day, or evening, wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.